Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jai Shri Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Bhagavan ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Jai,
Jai,
Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai,
Jai,
Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is also an auspicious day, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance day. So we will also read from Chaitanya Charitamrita and will glorify Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's very appropriate to remember the Lord and also his teachings today. Um, so let me share Bhagavad Gita. I think some of us would have went to Alachua today, probably. There's a big festival going on in the temple. So this time, surprisingly, Subal Prabhu is here. He didn't go.
I wanted to go, Prabhuji. My son had a band, so I need to pick him up. I just came home.
Okay.
But our Nainabram Prabhu and Balram Prabhu, they all went.
Oh, okay, okay. So, so we'll start with the prayers, devotees. Let me open the prayers. So, anyone would like to recite the prayers, devotees?
Yeah, I can listen. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्नापदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी श्रीराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्रीकृष्णचैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे थैंक यू हरे कृष्ण
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam. So yesterday, Sridham Prabhuji did until second verse, is it? Right?
यस प्रभु जी
Yeah. So third verse and fourth verse is together. So we'll read the translation. We'll read the verse and translation, and then purport, and then we'll discuss Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes also, devotees. So let's recite the verse. न रूपम् अश्येह ततोपलभ्यते नान्तो न चादिर्न च सम्प्रतिस्था अश्वत्थामेनं सुविरुद्धमूलम् असङ्गशास्त्रेण दृढेन चित्वा ततः पदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यं यस्मिन् गतो न निवर्तन्ति भूयः तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यतः प्रवृत्ति प्राश्रुतपुराणि. Yeah, let's recite this verse and then together and then we can. Yeah.
I can try.
Yes.
Hare Krishna devotees, that Raman Prashtushil Prabhavan. Narupamashye tatopalabhyate Nanto na chade na cha sampratishta Ashvattamenam suviruddhamulam Asangashastrena dridena chitva Tata padam tat parimargitvam Yasmin gata na nivartanti bhuya Tameva chadyam purusham prapadde Yata pravarti prasarta purani. Sorry, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Anyone else, devotees?
Yeah, I can I can recite for you. Nana rupam naseya tatopalabhyate nanto nachadir nacha sampratishta asvattam nenam su viruddhamulam asanga shastrena dradena chitva tata padam tat parimargita avyam yasmin gata na nivratanti bhuyaha Tameva chatyam purusham prapadye yata pravrittihi prasrata purani. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Raghu Prabhu. Anyone else, devotees, would like to recite? Joshita, you would like to try?
Okay. Na rupam asyaha ततोपलाभ्याते नन्तो न च दीर्णाका सम्प्रतिस्था अस्वतम् एनं सुविरुद्धमूलम् असङ्गशस्त्रेण द्रेण चित्वा तथा पदं तत् परिमत्वित्यं यस्मिन् गता न निवृत्तन्ति भूया तमेव चद्यां पुरुषं प्रद्भय यथा प्रस्थपुराणि.
Very good. Thank you, Joshita. Anyone else, devotees, would like to try? Okay, we'll go to synonyms. Anyone else would like to read synonyms and translation?
I can read it. Okay, sorry. Okay. Synonyms. Synonyms. Na, not. Rupam, the form. Ashya, of this tree. Iha, in this world. Tatha, also. Plabhyate, can be perceived. Na, never. Antaha, and na, never. Cha, also. Adi, beginning. Na, never. Cha, also. Sampratishtaha, the foundation. Ashwatam, banyan tree. Enam, this. Su, viruddha, strongly. Moolam, rooted. Asanga, shastrena, by the weapon of detachment. Tradena, strong. Chitva, cutting. Tatat, thereafter. Padam, situation. Tat, that. Parimargita, avyam, has to be searched out. Yasmin, where? Gataha, going. Na, never, nivartanti, they come back. They come back. Bhuyaha, again. Tam, to him. Eva, certainly. Cha, also. Adyam, original. Purusham, the personality of Godhead. Prapadye surrender yata from whom. Pravritti the beginning. Prasrata extended. Purani very old. Translation and purport by Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
The real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, or where its foundation is. But with determination, one must cut down the strongly rooted tree with a weapon of detachment. Thereafter, one must seek that place from which, having gone, one never returns, and there surrendered to that Supreme Personality of Godhead from whom everything began and from whom everything has extended since time immemorial.
Thank you, Raghu Prabhu. We have a 2-paragraph purport. Let's see anyone else who would like to read the purport, devotees.
I can read the first one.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Iram Prabhuji, go ahead.
No, Prabhuji. I'm just asking Joshita if she can read.
Yeah, Joshita, you want to read, Nana?
Okay. It is now clearly stated that the real form of this banyan tree cannot be understood in this material world. Since the root is upwards, the extension of the real tree is at the other end. When entangled with the material expansions of the tree, one cannot see how far the tree extends, nor can one see the beginning of this tree. Yet one has to find out the cause. I am the son of my father is the son of such and such a person, etc. By searching in this way, one comes to Brahma, who is generated by the Garobodaka Sai Vishnu. Finally, in this way, when one reaches the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is the end of research work. One has to search out that the origin of this tree, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, through the association of persons who are in knowledge of that Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then, by understanding, one becomes gradually detached from this false reflection of reality. And by knowledge, one can cut off the connection and actually become situated in the real tree. The word asanga is very important in this connection because the attachment for sense enjoyment and lording it over the material nature is very strong. Therefore, one must learn detachment by discussion of spiritual science based on authoritative scriptures, and one must hear from persons who are actually in knowledge. As a result of such discussion in the association of devotees, one comes to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then the first thing one must do is surrender to Him. The description of that place whence having gone one never returns to this false reflected tree is given here. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the original root from whom everything has emanated. To gain the favor of that personality of Godhead, one has to only to surrender, and this is everything and this result of performing devotional service by hearing, chanting, etc. He is the cause of the extension of the material world. This has already been explained by the Lord Himself. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha. I am the origin of everything. Therefore, to get out of the entanglement of the strong banyan tree of material life, one must surrender to Krishna. As soon as one surrenders onto Krishna, one becomes detached automatically from this material extension.
Thank you, Joshita. Anything you would like to share based on the purport?
From what I understand, it is saying like for one person to be able to detach from like material objects or artificial things, they must completely surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is Krishna, and then only they can start their journey by like spiritually cleansing themselves and getting attached towards God instead of the material existence, is what I understood.
Very nice, very nice. It's a very good understanding. Very nice. So we'll discuss this verse, these 2 verses, along with the previous verse. Anyone else would like to share anything, devotees, before I begin? Raghu Prabhu, would you like to share anything?
Yeah, okay. this is a verse which started with metaphorical analogy, which is a upside down tree. The material world is compared to an upside down tree with the roots up near Brahmaloka and descending all the way down to the Patalaloka. So we discussed that in the last uh, two classes. So here, uh, the thing with this tree is that we are so firmly entangled in it, and we don't know where the beginning is, where the end is, how it's extending on all sides. So we are totally lost in it, and we can be lost in it forever. We can just be going up and down, uh, going to the upper planets, and then going back again, or even going to lower planets, and maybe coming back again. And so this sort of cycle goes on if we are stuck in this material world repeatedly. But but for those who uh, realize the human form, that there is a that the human birth is given so that we we come out, we realize our constitutional position, and we seek the place to which uh, where we came from. It's stated very nicely in the translation. And then we once we obtain that place, we don't want to go back there. We don't want to return there. So so where is that place? So that's what uh, this purport is talking about, how to seek that place. So we can only do it by going along the route and then tracing ourselves along the parampara uh, uh, all the way to Brahma, and then from Brahma uh, to Lord Krishna himself. So once you seek Lord Krishna, then the only way is you completely surrender unto him, and through devotion and through learning from people who are very learned, the spiritual advisors and so on, we get the knowledge, and then once get that knowledge, we understand that we really belong to serve Krishna, and then we once we do that and fully immerse ourselves in that, then we get detached from the stream. That's what I get. Thank you.
Very nice, Prabhuji. Very nice. Thank you very much. So you gave a nice summary of these four verses. So we'll discuss and then we'll have some discussion, devotees. I will also like to touch upon Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's glories today. So today being the appearance day, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared exactly like 539 years, 2 months to be precise, exactly in the month of Falguna, and where the Paurnami today is actually full moon day, and also it's a lunar eclipse which happened in the morning. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared for the purpose of preaching Srimad Bhagavatam and leading a life of Srimad Bhagavatam, and set an example how to actually follow these teachings which are given by Krishna. So he's actually called Chenna Avatar, is a hidden incarnation, because he comes in the form of a devotee and tries to follow the instruction of Krishna. And he teaches everyone to worship Krishna, chant the holy name of Krishna, study Srimad Bhagavatam. So he basically wants us to practice, and he also led by example how to practice also. So even though Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different than Krishna, so he leads a life of a sannyas, so the God taking sannyas, it's very unique in this. So in one of the songs, Vaishnava songs, it is mentioned that Kamandalu Dhanda, like in one of the avatars of Lord, he comes as in the carrying a kamandal and then a danda, just like a sannyas. So which is non-different than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we'll discuss briefly about these verses and then we'll deep dive into Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. We'll understand about the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by which by its by in its itself there is so much potency of transformation. So like Raghu Prabhu is saying, this in this chapter began with Lord Krishna saying Sri Bhagavan Vacha. He is describing to Arjuna and all of us, the more confidential knowledge about jnana. So this whole chapter is designed to make us understand how this material world is so much so that it's very difficult to understand why we are here, what we are doing, where we are going. This like www they say, right? Who, what, where, when. All of these questions when we ask, it's most of the answers would be unknown unless we understand the Vedic knowledge about the life, what is actually the source of the life. So, why we are here, why we are born, what is the purpose of life, what is death, what is actually after death, and this is a cycle. Like it's again, birth and death is like a cycle. So the whole cycle goes on and on. Like if you go to the merry-go-round, like in right now the strawberry festival is going on. If you go to a merry-go-round, like you go up and you go down, you go up and you go down. So it's always like that in the material world also. We've been traveling sometimes up, sometimes down. We've been also taking different species of life. Sometimes you are taking a demigod. Sometimes you are actually in the form of an ant, elephant, insects, birds, bees. So there are 8,400,000 species of life. Jalaja Navalakkani, Stavara Lakkavamshati, Romeo Rudra Sankama, Pakshinam Dashalakkani. Like that, Padma Purana gives all the list. It says there are Dasalakkani, so Jalaja Navalakkani, there are 9 lakh species in the water. Stavara Lakka Vimshati Paksh. So like that, it says birds, there are 10 lakh species in the birds. So it gives like 8,400,000 species, and out of that, only 400,000 species are human beings. So you can imagine 8 million species are all animals, insects, birds, bees. So we've been wandering in one of these bodies, up and down, up and down. And also here Krishna is saying that this is just like a Ashwattham Prahur Avyayam. So this is this even this material world, it is like an imperishable banyan tree, meaning this is also an eternal, like this. It is so a huge creation that Krishna's material creation is also again it's created, again it's destroyed. So it looks as if it's happening eternally, it's happening. So now how to come out of this is what primarily the goal of Krishna explaining all this. So if you take one house like a circle form, like if you go to igloos are made like a circle. So the door is in one side, there is a door, but if the whole place is dark, how you can come out of the door? You just keep touching the outside wall. You keep going until you touch the door. Then you come out of the door, right? So similarly, how to come out of this, the whole complex material creation, understanding where is the source of this, all this happening. So that is where the whole Bhagavad Gita is designed to make us understand that. So Krishna already, gave in the middle 6 chapters from 7th chapter to 12th chapter about what is the source. Krishna says actually aham. So aham sarvasya prabhava matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam bhuta bhava samanvita. So I am the source of everything. Everything came from me. One who knows this perfectly, he will actually worship me with all his intelligence. So like that, Krishna already gave many verses. Now he is explaining about in much more detail, in the material world, how it is everything is happening. So Like Prabhuji was saying, if you want to understand where is it starts, you do research work. Like in the scientist also, they do research work. If you go to Queen Elizabeth, like in London, they have a family tree. So in the family tree, you can see, okay, who is the father, who is the grandfather, who is great great grandfather. Because they're very luxury family, the rich family. Everybody knows what's the family tree. It's all written down. But if you ask me, I know my father's name, my grandfather's name, my great great grandfather, I don't even know. So like we don't know the family tree of so many generations. So but if we keep going the family tree, then you would see that actually we hit one of the Saptarishis, and then we go to the Devatas. So like even Devatas and Asuras are born from the same Kashyap Muni father. Kashyap Muni is the father, Aditi and Diti, like two mothers. One there is Devatas, one there are Asuras. They all are born from the same father. Like that, there are Prajapatis, and if you go before the Prajapatis, then you can actually go to Lord Brahma. And then, if you understand how Brahma is born from the navel of Lord Vishnu's lotus flower, and then how Vishnu is born, Vishnu is not actually, he comes from Mahavishnu, Maha. So, like the whole material world comes from Mahavishnu, and then there is Sirodaksai Vishnu, Garbhodaksai Vishnu, and then like that, if you keep going, you end up getting to Lord Narayana. So, and then from Lord Narayana, if you go further, then you can actually go to the Chatur avatars, and then you can go to Balramji, and from Balramji, you can actually go to Lord Krishna. So everything starts from the source. Lord Krishna is the original Supreme Lord. So when Brahma is singing Srimad Brahma Samhita, he says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So he says Sarva Karana Karanam is you are the cause of all causes. So there is an immediate cause and there is also ultimate cause, right? So immediate cause is our father, mother, and their cause is their father, mother. Like that, if you keep going, you go to the ultimate cause, which is basically Lord Sri Krishna. So from him, the whole creation is coming out. So Lord Krishna, so he's like in the Vedas, there is one saying that Eko Bahushyam, like one become many. So for what is the purpose? Purpose is for his enjoyment. Like so, what is the purpose that we all have children? Like so, what is the purpose? Can anyone tell why do we have children? So Joshita, any idea why do parents have children?
To extend their lineage and also to care for someone and nurture them for the future.
Right. So why do we have to care? It's so difficult. Caring is it joyful or is it painful?
It's a responsibility, and with that responsibility, there's also joy because like the mother is giving birth to a child and seeing it since he was little. And I feel like even though it can be pain sometimes, it's also a choice a lot of people can take, and some shouldn't take it if they don't think they have the capability to take care and nurture the child properly in a way they can grow to benefit society.
Right. So it's a natural process, right? Like mother caring for children, it is not taught in any of the schools or colleges. It just naturally they love their children. They have they want to exchange, like in order to play, you need at least two persons to play, right? You throw a ball, the ball has to come back. So you need at least two people to play. So the whole idea of children is to have some loving exchanges. You care for them and they reciprocate and there is a loving exchange. So the same thing, Lord Krishna also, he was one, but he became many for the purpose of loving exchanges. So for him, he is God, he is so much powerful that there is unlimited living entities that he can manifest. For us, we are limited, we are trying to imitate God. We come here and we want to have children, but we cannot maintain. How many children can we maintain? One, two, three, four. Rich people, even nowadays, even to maintain two children, parents are like so much expenses and so many burden. So, but look at Lord Krishna. He has like so many living entities that he can maintain. So he maintains the elephants, ants, birds, bees. He supplies unlimited necessities, everyone, right? So he's so powerful. So from that perspective, we can understand that God is expanding into living entities for the purpose of enjoyment. So now we can go deeper and understand, if it is a purpose of enjoyment, then why are we suffering in the material world? It should be joyful. So then the Shastras explain, the whole chapter Krishna is explaining, actually we are detached from the source. That is why we are suffering. We are detached from the Lord, and we are actually trying to enjoy in the material world independent of Lord Krishna. So that is why the whole suffering is going on. So now if somebody wants to be again happy, what they have to do, for example, somebody is a son of a rich family, okay, and but then he got lost. So how can be again he can be again happy? Anyone would like to answer?
I
Um,
feel he's, yeah, go ahead.
Prabhuji, the one who realizes and remembers the source where they came from, right?
Mm.
And they're going back. Just to give some contest example, when a child go to school, come back home, he'll be so excited to go home, right?
Mm.
So you are here to learn the purpose of life, and when you do your purpose and you are going back home, you feel happy, right?
So your point is, so when we realize where is our home, we will be happy to go back.
Right.
Mm. Thank you, Prabhuji. So here, in these verses, Krishna is saying actually the real form of a tree in this material world is very difficult to perceive. Why is that? If you look at a banyan tree, the roots actually the whole, we all know that tree has roots downwards. But the unique thing about banyan tree, the roots are coming from top also. And if you see, the roots come from top and then they cling on to the ground. So it becomes so big, Ashwadhyam. So it's so big and huge, huge tree. Some child comes and look at the tree and he will be surprised. "Oh, where is the root and where is, it's going up and going down, right?" So similarly, in this material world is also, it is very complex to understand, because in the Vedas also, Lord Krishna, the in the Vedas also, if you read, majority of the Vedas only talks about Karma Kanda portion. Karma Kanda means you do this, you will get this. You do this, you'll get this. You follow this process, you will get this result. But the confidential detail about bhakti is only very confidential portions of Vedas only talks about it. And Srimad Bhagavatam is that confidential knowledge. See, the whole Vedas, Vedavyas Maharaj, he wrote actually Vedanta Sutras. So in aphorism form. And then the Vedanta Sutras, he wrote commentary, which is Srimad Bhagavatam. So the Srimad Bhagavatam is the actual essence of Vedas given by the author himself, who is Vedavyas himself. But if you read the Vedas directly, you will not be able to understand the secrets about Lord, because most of them is Karma Kanda, like I was saying, Yagyas, Karma Kandas. Vedas mean knowledge. It has everything, like all the Shastra, the Shilpa Shastra, and the art of dance, art of music, art of painting, all 64 arts, everything is there in Vedas. So even in the Germany, Hitler was taking some of the Vedic literature. He was making bombs, weapons. Even the weaponry was also there in Vedas. So basically, it's knowledge. But to find out, then from that knowledge, to find out about Lord Krishna's confidential, how to go back, that is the most difficult. So now Bhagavad Gita is only 700 verses. Imagine 700 slokas we were able to understand because Krishna is directly giving all this knowledge in a very short and sweet form. Otherwise, to understand from Vedas is very difficult. So, so now I'm going to go into Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes a little bit. So now that Krishna from whom everything came, so he expanded into Balramji and Radharani. On the feminine side, Radharani expanded into, many gopis, the Astashakis, and then the Lakshmi ji, like that. Feminine side, and the Balramji expanded into Narayana, and then the Mahavishnu, Sirodaksha Vishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu. So all the expansions are coming from Krishna. And that Krishna who expanded Radha and Krishna, who expanded into two forms, is actually one soul, two forms. Again, he wanted to experience to the love of Radharani, and he actually appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different than Sri Radha and Krishna combined. So that form. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahi Anna. Like Sri Krishna Chaitanya is non-different than Radha and Krishna combined. So when he appears in the Kali Yuga, he is appearing in the form of a golden form. Krishna Varnam Trusha Krishnam Sango Pangashtra Parshadam Yagnair Sankirtanai Prayai Rajantihi Sumedashaha. So he comes in the form of, he is Krishna himself, but is Krishna Varnam Trisha Akrishnam. Akrishna means he is not in a blackish cloud, a bluish cloud form. He is actually in the form of a golden form. So that's called, like in the Radharani's verse we just saw, Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. So when Radharani is in the golden form, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also appears in that golden form, complexion, basically bodily complexion. And he is non-different than Radha and Krishna combined. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared for only one purpose in the Kali Yuga. There are many reasons. There are external reasons and internal reasons. External reason is he wanted to distribute the holy name and preach the message of Lord Krishna. And the internal reasons is to understand the sweet mellows of Radharani, because Lord Krishna was seeing there is Radharani has so much love for me. She was enjoying so much. How is that even I want to experience the same love. So that love which Radharani is experiencing for Krishna is even surpassing the love of Krishna. So as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wanted to experience that love and joy. Then he appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to relish. That's the internal reason. So the external reason is to teach about the holy name of in the Kali Yuga. In the Kali Yuga, there is only one Kali Kali Namarupa Krishna avatar. So in the Kali Yuga, we cannot do big meditations. We cannot do big sacrifices. We cannot also do elaborate deity worship. So the only thing that works in Kali Yuga is Nama Sankirtanam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If one can actually chant the holy name of the Lord constantly in Kali Yuga, he would surpass 100-year meditation, 1,000-year meditation in Satya Yuga. In Satya Yuga, people used to live for 100,000 years. So Valmiki Muni was meditating for 40,000 years. So in Kali Yuga, the chanting perfection is equivalent to all of that. Meditation for thousands of years, doing big sacrifices like Ashwamedha Yagya, all of that sacrifices. And in the Dwapar Yuga, people used to do elaborate deity worship. So there was one temple in Kerala, Ananta Padmanabha Swami temple. So if you go to the temple, there is a Lord Vishnu sleeping, in the Shayana form. There is a 32 feet, the Lord Vishnu's Murti. You have to take darshan in 3 doors. So it's all made of Shaligram Shilas. So there the king used to come, and every time he used to come, he used to offer golden paraphernalia as offering. So like that, in that temple, they had many locked doors. So in that doors, The gold was so much, at one time they opened and they got so much surprise that this gold is actually enough to clear all the debt of India. Like that, one time it was so much surprise. So even now you can check Ananta Padmanabha Swami temple in Kerala. So like that, those days the deity worship was very opulent. Every day different dresses, different golden jewels, different colors, different flowers. It's very opulent worship. But nowadays in Kali Yuga, what we do is very, very simple, very, very basic. So in Kali Yuga, there is only one process that will work. So in the Harer Nama, Harer Nama eva kevalam, Kalau nastyeva, nastyeva gatiranyataha. So that is the only way in Kali Yuga. So that is the process Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to teach. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was born. I'll give you a little bit of brief, sketch about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life. So he was born, born to a father called Jagannath Mishra. He was a learned Brahmana, and so his mother was Srimati Sachi Devi. So she is a daughter of Nilambara Chakravarti. He is also a great learned scholar in Navadvip. So Navadvip means 9 islands. So in the 9 islands, the Ganges is called Jahnavi in the it's it's basically close to Calcutta. If you go, there are 9 islands which is divided by Ganges. So in this 9 islands, Navadvip, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is born, and this is actually in the Sakabda. They say two, like according to Christian and according to Shakabda. So according to Christian calendar, it was 14. According to Sakabda, it was 1455. So if you calculate the Christian calendar, now it is about 539 years past Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. So now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is non-different than Krishna, but when he appears, he just appears like a normal child. He does many pastimes. When he was growing up in the childhood pastimes, there are many pastimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performs. So when he was a small baby, several things happens. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to cry, and then he would stop when everybody says Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So even before his birth itself, there was a full moon day, and also there was an eclipse. So in India, when eclipse is going on, people used to chant the holy name. They take bath in the holy rivers. So everybody was chanting Hare Krishna, Hari Bol, Lord Govinda, Madhava, like that before even he appeared. And then after he appeared, he was anytime he cries, the gopis know that okay, when we say holy name, then he will stop crying. They used to say Hari Bol, he will stop crying. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission is to make everyone chant the holy name. So he started from the childhood itself. And then when he was growing up, there were several things that, as part of his childhood, he showed some um, specific pastimes, just like Lord Krishna. So one time there was a thief. He came to steal some jewels from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The boy was called, he was named as Vishwambar. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born, the parents named him as Vishwambar. And then, since he was born at the tree, neem tree, so he was also called Nimai Pandit. So, at the age of 16, he opened his own school. He opened his own Vedic school, like he was teaching all the children. He's a very, very learned Pandit. He had mastered all the Vedas, Nyaya philosophy at the age of 16. He was very sharp, very learned. So, when he was a small baby, one time there was a thief who came to steal his golden ornaments. That time he took the baby and then he was going around. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed him some illusion, and then he didn't know where he was. He came back to the same house, and then he put the baby back. And then the parents were searching. They were happy that they got the baby back. And then in another pastime, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one time one Brahmana came to his house. So that Brahmana was cooking, and he will only eat food when he offers that and then accept as a prasadam. So by the time he came, there was no prasadam. So he said, I will only cook myself. I will offer to Krishna and then I will take. So and then the Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata said, okay, you cook, we will give all the necessary paraphernalia. You cook and you take prasadam. So first time he cooked, he offered, and then Nimai Pandit, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a baby, he came and ate everything. So, and then the Brahmana was so upset. Oh, I was offering to Krishna. He actually polluted this. Second time he cooked, the same thing happened. Third time, they actually stopped the baby. They kept him in a separate house, room. Somehow or other, third time also same thing happened. So this is almost at the midnight now. Now the Brahmana said, no, I'm not going to cook again. And they actually requested him, no, no, please, it will be a great offense if you don't eat. We will actually put him to sleep. Now nothing is going to happen. Now you cook and actually offer. So at the midnight, while he was offering, again the baby came. He was so surprised. How is the sleeping baby came? And then the baby actually showed the real form of Krishna. So the Brahmana was so ecstatic and he understood. And the Lord said, this is a very confidential, do not disclose to anyone. So at that time, the Brahmana felt so happy and he also understood the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, like that, there are many pastimes that happened in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's. So, when he was 16 years, he opened his own school. He was teaching all the more than the philosophy, the bhakti, the Lord, Krishna's love. He was teaching all the students. At that time, one big Pandit came. His name was Keshava Kashmiri. So those times there will be very many Sanskrit scholars. They used to come. They used to on the spot they will compose many poetry and then they will actually debate with you. So that's a Sanskrit scholar. So he also came. So Navadvip, Navadvip is actually very very famous place. So this place is filled with a lot of scholars, lot of poets. So nobody was actually willing to compete with him because he was really very great scholar, great Sanskrit scholar. Everybody was scared because if you debate and if you actually lose, then you have to write it saying that I am actually for whole life I am your servant. So everybody was scared to even debate with him. At that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very young. He was only 16 or 18. And everybody was saying, okay, we will actually send Nimai Pandit for the competition. So all the villagers will actually. So it so happened that the Pandit, the Keshav Kashmiri, he came to Ganges. At that time, Nimai Pandit was in Ganges with all his students. So he was actually with his students. So unexpectedly, they both met. So at that time, Keshav Kashmiri also heard about Nimai Pandit was very famous. When he saw, he was like, "Oh, you are actually Nimai Pandit." Everybody was talking, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so humble. He was actually glorifying the Pandit, and he was saying that please give us some blessings, and then give us some. Verses of Sanskrit that we can actually understand. Like that. So on the spot, he was composing 100 verses on Mother Ganges. So on the spot, he composed 100 verses. Nimai Pandit remembered all the 100 verses and he quoted verse number 65 and said, in this particular verse, Prabhu, actually, I see a little bit mistake. If you'd like, I can explain. Like that, he was asking. So, and then when the scholar were really surprised, how is he able to remember a specific verse from the 100 verse and how is he able to quote it? And now, yeah, go on like that, he said. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned specific mistakes in the Sanskrit composition and he was completely awestruck. And he thought, humanly, this is impossible to do. And who is this person? He was so much mesmerized and he went back home, he couldn't sleep. And in the middle of a night, Mother Saraswati came in his dreams and he said, Nimai Pandit is not an ordinary child. He is Sakshat, my Bhagavan. So tomorrow you go and surrender on to him. So the next day, this Keshav Kashmiri Pandit, he goes and falls at the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he says, actually, I didn't know who you are. I came to actually debate with you, but I'm actually taking sannyas. So in the overnight, he realized that I have so much, jnana, but then I didn't really understand about Lord. So even I came face to face, but I couldn't understand, Lord. So he was feeling that he has to purify himself by taking sannyas. So that was also one prominent pastime that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life. And later on, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so he accepts Grahastha life. He actually marries and then he takes sannyas. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lives in this planet for 48 years. So at the age of 24, he takes sannyas. In the remaining years, he travels extensively, but he also takes in Jagannath Puri, he stays for extensive period of time in Jagannath Puri discussing all the philosophy with all distributing Krishna Prema. So he goes to South India and he teaches so all of you, anyone heard of Bhakta Sant Tukaram in Maharashtra? Most of you probably heard about Sant Tukaram, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So Sant Tukaram is also a contemporary of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling towards South India, wherever he traveled, he distributed the love of Godhead in Krishna Prema. Like wherever he traveled, it overflowing emotions of love. So Sant Tukaram is one of them where he was actually taking the Vittal. Vittal is non different than Krishna. So he was taking Vittal Abhangas and he was distributing the whole Maharashtra. He was flooding it. So, like that in the South India also, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even now there are many South Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, they understand. So, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu traveled, there are many, many Goswamis who came from South India, they become exalted followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, like that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teachings are very, very simple and sublime. So, his teachings are just like in this chapter we are reading, we are actually traveling up and down, but we have to find our source, understand Krishna, surrender to Krishna, and become a lover of Krishna. So that is all Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to teach. But he gave very systematically to Rupa Goswami, and Rupa Goswami wrote many, many scriptures. The Nectar of Devotion, Bhaktir Shamrita Sindhu, he wrote so many confidential scriptures about what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different than Sri Krishna, and he is Radha and Krishna combined. So he is much more merciful than Krishna. So mother is always compassionate. From that perspective, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is much more merciful. He is always dancing and chanting. Nityananda Prabhu is Balram. He is also very merciful in the form of Nityananda. But as Balram is very strong, he is to chastise, he is very strong, but as Nityananda is very, very merciful. So together, Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, they are actually delivering all the fallen souls in Kali Yuga. So in Kali Yuga, it is mentioned everyone is a Sudra. No one is actually qualified. But by taking to bhakti, by taking to holy name, everyone can be purified. So it does not matter whether one is born in a Brahmana family or a lower family. Anyone can take to bhakti provided he takes to the chanting of the holy name. So that is the power of the holy name. So even below Shudra, there are Pulinda, Pukkasha, Yavana, Chandala. Chandalas are called dog eaters. They eat dogs. Even so many, it doesn't matter how much sinful we are, when we take to the chanting of the holy name, we can attain to this highest perfection, which is the love of Godhead, which is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also teaching devotees. So there is so much to learn from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. I think due to time, we will discuss some of these topics now. So let's see if anyone has any questions or anything to share. We'll discuss.
Yeah, just one thing, at least in my case, and I think I've heard from others also, until he came to ISKCON, I didn't even know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I learned it only from, by attending all these functions and finally realizing. So you explained everything very nicely. So in that respect, this this text that we read, we're trying to find out our source. And same way, we only by coming to ISKCON and getting listening to Krishna Katha and so on, we find out there's a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who came only 550 years ago or so. So that was a big revelation to me. One other thing is he's supposed to have been 7 feet tall, which is really quite something. And one other item is that he also found a copy of a Brahma Samhita in
Yes.
a Kerala temple, I think.
Yes.
I don't know which one, Ayappa temple, I don't know.
No, this is
Yeah.
also in the same this temple is a Keshava, so Ananta Keshava. So yeah, I forgot the name. It's a very beautiful temple. I think Ananta Padmanabha Swami temple, or yeah, this in that temple also Lord's Vigraha is about 30 plus feet. So you take darshan in three doors. It's a very beautiful Vishnu temple.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Thank you, Raghu Prabhuji. So even I mean, it's not a surprise because I also learned about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu after coming to ISKCON only. I was born in South India, Tamil Nadu, but in an Andhra, if you go to Andhra, some people are named as Chaitanya. So Tamil Nadu, it's not that common, but Andhra, I see, I have some colleagues also, their name is Chaitanya, so like that. So their father was a devotee of Lord Chaitanya because they named their children as Chaitanya. So in the Chaitanya is also Chetana. There is a word called Chetana, consciousness. So that root word comes from there, Chaitanya. So Lord Chaitanya's birth name is Vishwambar. Vishwambar. And then he was also called Nimai Pandit. And when he actually got sannyas, he got the name of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. So he took sannyas from, generally you take sannyas from another sannyasi, Keshav Bharati. So he gave him the name Sri Krishna Chaitanya. So from then onwards, he was called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. So that's why you say Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahiyana. He's a combined avatar of Radha and Krishna. Thank you, Raghu Prabhuji. Any devotees would like to share anything, devotees?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah, wonderfully explained, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. And as you know, I mentioned, after 500 plus years, we are getting this similar opportunity where on this lunar eclipse day, it is so very auspicious, and on this day, we are having our temple, thing. So reaching out to everybody to support us. You can, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Subal Prabhuji. Yeah, it was actually, I think you all have heard about the temple, upcoming temple. There's also Mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I was just today only, I was seeing just close to the temple, there was another property, 5 acres property that that become pending in around December, end of December. And that property, only the land with all the trees, it was about 800K. But this property we have is 5 acres land. Also, there is a house, 2000 square feet house, 2000 square feet shed, the where we can actually have a nice satsang. Together we are getting for 700. I was surprised. How is this even possible? Market rate they are not selling. So it's definitely Mahaprabhu's mercy only. Somehow or other we got. It's really surprising that that place is not even just 2 miles from that place. So anyway, it's surprising. So you all please support. Whatever capacity, reach out to your friends and support the temple in whatever way you can. Any last any comments or any questions from your side, Joshita?
No.
Thank you. Sai Ram Prabhu, Sunita Mataji, any comments or questions from your side? If
No,
not,
no, Prabhuji.
okay. Sure. If not, we'll conclude today's session. Thank you all for joining. It's a very auspicious day. Thank you very much. श्रीमद् भगवत गीता की जय, श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय, चैतन्य चरितामृता की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। वंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्ण। Thank you very much,
Hare
devotees.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Sri Krishna Prabhu ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.